Hey, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is David Benjamin from HealthyWildAndFree.com. Today I want to share with you how to make your gut a hostile environment for parasites. What is a parasite? A parasite is defined as something that is alive that lives off its host, that takes its nutrients and benefits from those nutrients and kind of sucks the life from the host. So a parasite in a human being or a dog or any animal would be something like a parasitic worm, a candida infection, anything that has some sort of life that is growing that isn't in harmony with your body and its bodily systems and functions. So any type of infection, like I said, yeast infection, candida, things like that. And there are parasitic worms. There's a lot of different parasitic worms. There's all types of worms that can end up in your body. You can eat them in your food. They can be in your water. They can get in your body in all types of ways. And they thrive by laying eggs and passing on the life in your gut, essentially. So parasitic worms specifically typically live in the intestines, in the gut, because there they get the most food. Obviously, it's where your food is, it's where food passes through, and they look for sugar. So one of the best ways that you can make your gut a hostile environment for parasites, whether it's a yeast infection, candida, fungal infection, parasitic worms, any type of parasitic worms. Like I said, there's all different types of parasitic worms that look different, that are bigger, smaller, longer, shorter, fatter, whatever it may be, is to avoid sugar. Now I'm talking about processed sugar, but fruit comes into the question as well. Processed sugar will feed parasitic worms, will feed candida, yeast infections, and all that, but fruit at the same time, many people in the health world believe that fruit will also feed candida, yeast infections, fungal infections, and parasitic worms. Honestly, I don't know enough to share with you how I feel about that right now. I've heard that is one scenario, but I've also heard that if you eat fruit by itself without any other foods, it's beneficial for the body and healthy, and it won't feed those mechanisms. It won't feed the yeast infections, the candida, the parasitic worms. And I think there's probably some truth to each of those, and it may depend on the fruit, because there are certain fruits, like for example, papaya seeds. Papaya, it's a fruit, there's fruit sugar in papaya, but papaya seeds are very beneficial for being anti-parasitic. They actually benefit your body by killing the eggs that are laid by parasitic worms, so it doesn't allow them to replicate and duplicate. So it kind of depends, basically. So my recommendation is to avoid all processed sugar, and then if you have fruit, just limit it, or do your research with fruits specifically. Maybe eat fruits that you know have some anti-parasitic properties, like papaya, and eat the seeds with it. If you're not eating the seeds with it, then you're probably not going to get the whole holistic benefit of that. So first things first, avoid sugar. Second recommendation, black walnut hull. It's very beneficial for fighting parasites and things like that. It's just the makeup of it. It's gross, but it's effective. Another recommendation is cloves. Cloves have like a spicy kick to them. If you get cloves, you can either get the powder or the actual cloves, which are about that big, and they're kind of like sort of minty but sort of spicy at the same time. Those are anti-parasitic as well, help to fight parasitic infections. Anything hot, spicy foods. I'm talking, cayenne, garlic, cayenne, garlic, onions, habaneros, chili peppers. Anything hot or spicy is not friendly to parasites at all. Heat kills infections, heat kills parasites. Integrate that slowly though and work it in. Everything I'm recommending to you, I'd recommend integrating it slowly and starting with one thing, then integrating the next, then integrating the next, and keep going until the parasite or parasitic infection is completely gone. If you do everything I recommend you at once, you're going to feel like shit immediately. So with that being said, cloves are great. Probiotics are great. Sauerkraut and kimchi are two of the best foods that you can possibly eat. Kimchi is spicy and has probiotics, so it has kind of the benefit of both of those for benefiting and your body and killing parasites and making your gut a hostile environment for parasites. And then sauerkraut is just great because of the probiotics in it. You can also drink things like kombucha or water kefir as well. Both great sources of probiotics that your gut really definitely needs for the immune system function, but also to keep the gut bacterial balance healthy, so that there isn't an area for parasites and parasitic infections to thrive. Cloves, probiotics, hot things, black walnut hull. Another thing that you can do is sort of a modified water fast. So if you want, you can go on a water fast, but during that water fast, eat things, or not, excuse me, don't eat things, but take things, liquids or small amounts of food that are anti-parasitic. So for example, if you just go on, and this is another kind of area of, I don't know, it's either, left or right, it's either one way or the other, I'm not really sure, but I've heard theories on both. Some people say that water fasting will kill your parasitic infections and your body will balance itself out. That may be true or it may not be true. Here's my hypothesis on that. If the body has what it needs, meaning if it has the probiotic gut flora that it needs, prebiotic and probiotic, if it has the different vitamins and minerals and antioxidants and compounds that it needs, during that water fast window, so say you have a 3-day water fast window, and during that window you have enough reserves in your body, and protein reserves, that's another thing for immunity and things like that. If you have enough reserves of all those things during that 3-day water fasting window where you do nothing but drink water for 3 days, then your gut gets a break, and those compounds and nutrients and all those things go to work and will kill the parasitic infection. I do believe that. At the same time, I think a lot of people are in nutritionally deprived states, meaning that, in other words, when they water fast, their body is burning toxins and fat, and they're flushing that out, but it doesn't have any nutritional resources or reserves, or any micro or macronutrient reserves whatsoever, or not enough at least, during that time period to fight off the parasites. So it'll just work on the easier things, burning fat as energy, detoxifying the easiest things that it can expel out of the body, things like that. So parasites and parasitic infections can be a little bit more difficult. So I'd recommend that if you do water fast, to add something like, and this would kind of suck because you'd have garlic breath those 3 days straight, so you might want to isolate yourself, but maybe have garlic once a day or twice a day during a 3-day water fast. Or do cloves and garlic, or a few different things that fight parasites and parasitic infections during your water fast, so that you're fighting them, but at the same time you're giving your body minerals and vitamins and nutrients, because garlic has different vitamins, minerals, and nutrients. Cloves have a lot of different minerals and antioxidants and things like that. So you can do kind of a modified water fast that's slanted towards fighting those parasites and parasitic infections during that time period, and then come back into a healthy diet with no sugar intake, and then still including those foods, and then just kind of work in a healthy diet for, say, a few weeks, a month, whatever it takes for you to get rid of those parasites or parasitic infection in order to get back to, whatever it is that you do. So with that being said, quick recap. Parasites are hosts. They're mechanisms that live off the host. Your body being the host, your body has a system, your body has many systems and processes, and a parasitic infection, be it a candida infection, a fungal yeast infection, or parasitic worms, what they do is they eat your nutrients, they take your nutrients, they suck the life force energy out of you, they take the sugar, they take everything, they feed on everything, and what you want to do is take away the things they feed on and give your body things that will actively fight them. They'll actively boost immunity, they'll actively make it an uncomfortable environment for them, such as hot and spicy foods, bitter foods, things like that. Things that help drain the liver, that feed circulation, feed the immunity, so that if it's a parasitic worm, for example, it's irritated and it wants to leave your body because it doesn't have anything to feed off anymore. So it's definitely a little bit of a battle. I've actually had parasites in my life before, so I speak a little bit from experience. I don't know how I got them. I've lived in Costa Rica a few times in my life. That may have been how it happened. Thankfully now I'm parasite free, as far as I know at least. And I don't at least feel the symptoms of having parasites. So, but at the same time, every once in a while, I'll do kind of a parasitic cleanse or parasitic fast, if you will, where I'll just eat things that will fight parasites or parasitic infections, for a few days, or do a water fast for a little bit along, and kind of modify it so that my gut regenerates itself in a healthy way that is not friendly to yeast, candida infections, or parasitic worms. Because you want your gut to be healthy, you want your gut to be strong, you want your gut to be effective, you want the nutrients that you eat to benefit your internal organs, your body, your skin, your heart, your gut, your liver, your colon. You want your nutrients to benefit you, not a yeast infection or a parasitic worm living off you, the host. It's not fun. It drains your energy, it drains your life, and a lot of times parasitic infections, yeast and candida and fungal and parasitic worms go undiagnosed because there's not a lot of ways to properly diagnose those types of infections, or they get overlooked. So with that being said, hopefully this gives you some information. I'll link up, I have an article below with more information on keeping your gut healthy, making it a hostile environment for parasites. I highly recommend reading the article. If you know you have a yeast, candida, fungal infection, or parasitic worms in your body right now. Read the article below. Thanks a lot for your time. My name is David Benjamin from healthywildandfree.com. Please like this video if you learned something, subscribe for future videos, share with your friends and family. Please follow us on Facebook and on Pinterest, Healthy, Wild, and Free on Facebook, and on Pinterest we are Healthy, Wild, Free. HealthyWildandFree.com has a bunch of articles and information. You can also subscribe to the email newsletter there for weekly updates on health information, mind, body, spirit stuff, and just all the research and learning that I'm doing and all the amazing people I network and connect with that I learn from. I'm bringing that information straight to you on video or in an article. So thanks a lot for your time. Thanks a lot for listening. Thanks a lot for your attention. Thanks a lot for your diligence to your health and well-being. Until next time, live healthy, wild, and free, and take it easy. Bye.